Around March, spring chases off the bitter cold and dresses the land in a fresh tint of green. Life awakens on the call of the spring, and the gray-faced buzzards spread their wings and ride on the northern winds for a long journey back to their birthplace. Gray-faced buzzards, also known as gray-faced buzzard eagles, have been appearing regularly in the skies of Taiwan for a long time. The flocks have become a special sight for people of certain areas. To the people in central Taiwan, the gray-faced buzzards come from the south, so they call the birds southern eagles. And for people living in the Taidong and Kending area, the birds come from behind the northeast mountains. Therefore, they call the birds the back hill birds. They also have other sobriquets, such as National Day birds or Qingming birds. Whatever the names, gray-faced buzzards are the raptors that are best known to the people of Taiwan. Gray-faced buzzards continue their species by migrating along a north-south route. They reproduce in mid-high latitude areas of Asia, including Japan, Korea, northeast China, along the Usui River and the Amu Darya River. Gray-faced buzzards reproduce between April and July, and the young birds must learn how to fly independently before September, so they can fly south together with the adult birds. Otherwise, they will starve or freeze to death. South-migrating gray-faced buzzards fly over the Japanese islands and arrive in the skies of Taiwan in early October, which coincides with the National Day season in Taiwan. So they are also called National Day birds. Before October ends, some of the gray-faced buzzards start to fly south and rest in the Manzhou Township before moving out to the Bashi Channel. The winter habitats for gray-faced buzzards are mainly in South China, the Indo-Chinese Peninsula, the Malay Peninsula, and the Pacific Islands south of Taiwan. They stay in these areas for the winter, and in the following spring, when the seasonal northeastern wind starts to weaken, the gray-faced buzzards begin their journey northward and pass by the central region of Taiwan again in March and April. They fly along the Bagua and Dadu Mountains during the Qingming holiday, so the people call them the Qingming birds. To be able to go home early and get good spots for the upcoming mating season, the early arrivals in the Bagua Mountains are mostly male birds, followed by female and adolescent birds. Most of the gray-faced buzzards fly over 6 hours to arrive in Taiwan, so they must stop and replenish their energy before moving off again. Bagua Mountain, at this time, becomes the best spot for gray-faced buzzard watching. After they finish their brief stop in Taiwan, the eagle flocks begin to fly north again towards their long-awaited home. Only strong birds are able to pass the crucial trial of long-distance flying. They carry the great responsibility of continuing the species. Why do these precious guests like Bagua Mountain? The Bagua Mountain area has a long valley stretching north and south. Covered by lush, low-elevation evergreen forests, the space between Zhanghua and Nantou is like a long green hall, providing great cover and providing rich resources for living things in this habitat. That is also why the Bagua Mountain area is one of the most popular spots for ecotourism. Acacias, parasol leaf trees, and bamboo are commonly seen in the Bagua Mountain area, and they provide perches for the gray-faced buzzards. This environment provides a good habitat for animals to sustain life. Amphibians and reptiles are the most commonly seen creatures in the Bagua Mountain area. Just pay attention to the surroundings. You will find them beneath leaves or resting on tree trunks, These not-so-popular creatures not only play an important role in the food chain of the Bagua mountain ecology, but also are key food sources for gray-faced buzzards. Good perching grounds and abundant food sources are gifts from the Bagua Mountains to the gray-faced buzzards. And this is why these birds always stop by punctually year after year in this beautiful and bountiful country before moving north. Would you like a glimpse at the handsome gray-faced buzzards? Here are a few birdwatching tips. Wear comfortable and durable clothing and choose colors that blend into the environment. Make your best effort to stay concealed and keep your disturbances to the minimum. Birds are extremely sensitive animals, so it is rather difficult to observe them at close range. Therefore, telescopes have become indispensable gear for bird watching. Since other raptors, like serpent eagles and Chinese goshawks, are also common in the Bagua mountain area, an illustrated handbook will come in handy for identification. When you are out searching for these raptors, we suggest that you gaze at the sky or spots over the clouds along ridgelines of the mountains. They can also be seen on the tips of dead branches, in trees and bamboo. These are the typical places where the raptors are active, and you will be able to spot them. Around the spring equinox, gray-faced buzzards are often sighted careening in the sky along the County No. 139 highway. Therefore, in March every year, the Tri-Mountain National Scenic Area, Bureau of Tourism, Ministry of Transportation and Communications joins the local governments and private organizations to host the Bagua Eagle Watching Festival. Viewing terraces are set up in the Zhanghua and Nantou areas, and guides are available on-site to provide people correct information regarding ecology. Gray-faced buzzards are common transient birds in Taiwan during the spring and autumn, and are often seen in the mid to low elevations of mountains. Gray-faced buzzards have predominantly gray facial feathers and are slightly smaller than vultures, but slightly larger than eagles. This is how they got the name gray-faced buzzards. According to statistics, approximately 22,000 gray-faced buzzards pass through the Bagua mountain area each year. The biggest difference between an adult gray-faced buzzard and an adolescent is the mottling on the breast. An adult bird has brown spots across the breast, and an adolescent bird has black or brown vertical spots. The male birds have predominantly gray faces and red-brown bodies without distinct brows. Female and adolescent birds have distinct brown spots, and their body colors are closer to dark brown. The female birds are slightly larger than the male birds. If you are out in the wilderness watching closely, you will find that gray-faced buzzards have sharp tips on their wings. This is key to their excellent gliding abilities. To save energy during long-distance flying, gray-faced buzzards use air currents to lift them upwards. After they get to a certain height, they start to glide down towards the destination. Gray-faced buzzards fly in a single file formation. It is as if all the gray-faced buzzards agree on one direction and glide one after another at a high speed toward the destination. The best hours to catch such a sight in the Bagua mountain area are between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. The rising and falling of a gray-faced buzzard is a sight you should not miss. Gray-faced buzzards often migrate in good weather. When the weather changes or dusk is coming, the migration effort pauses. Around 3 to 4 p.m., flocks of gray-faced buzzards swirl in the sky